let me get this out the way. My name is Tommy Springfield.
And I'm better than you!
If you're new here, click the like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, click all so you can get notifications every time I drop one of these videos and give you my unbiased opinion on today's current events. Let me introduce myself. First of all, I am Tommy Springfield, aka the king of all talk and all things related to talk: TV, radio, cell phones, house phones, fax machines, text messages, emails. I don't care if you're from the suburbs, if you're from the hood. You can be sitting in the nail salon, you can be at the barber shop, whatever form of talk you got going on, we got you covered. It's only a few forms of talk we don't do. We definitely don't pillow talk, we don't talk hate, and we never talk in the law enforcement. So, like I always say, much love and respect goes out to those that support. And let's get into today's video. But I just got one question for you. Can I talk to you? I don't think you heard me. I said, can I talk to you? So, today's video, unless you've been under a rock, man accused of killing drug kingpin Alpo Martinez acquitted in New York. The man accused of murdering former Lewiston resident Alpo Martinez in New York in 2021 was acquitted Tuesday in New York City. And as you can see, that's the dude. His name is Shakeem Parker. And as you go down and look for today's date or yesterday's date, which would have been 7/9/24 at 10 a.m., you see he was acquitted. And some of y'all probably like, King of Talk, I don't even know who the hell Alpo is. Who Alpo? Maybe you just young, or maybe you just not into street things. But let me give you some background on who he is.
This notorious drug lord, Alpo Martinez, shot and killed on the streets of Harlem. He was a larger-than-life figure who seemed to defy death. Fox 5's Lisa Evers goes over who he was and why he might have had a long list of enemies.
I'm sorry I forgot to tell you, we 420 friendly over here. We heavy coffee drinkers, and usually we got the big cup of tea with too much sugar in it. If those things bother you, this definitely ain't the channel for you. But let's get back into the game.
He was one of the city's most notorious drug dealers, famous since the 1980s for his murderous ways and mountains of cash and drugs, immortalized in dozens of rap songs and the movie Paid in Full. But it all came to an end for Alpo Martinez right here on the streets of Harlem, right where it all began. These are exclusive photos of Alpo Martinez on previous visits to Harlem in recent years. But his latest visit turned out to be his last. On Sunday, about 3:20 a.m., police were called to Frederick Douglass Boulevard near West 147th Street. A dark red pickup truck crashed into parked cars. The driver was shot 5 times in the chest through the car window and killed.
I heard 5 shots, 1 and then four consecutive shots after that.
It was Alpo, but his driver's license and other IDs had his witness protection name of Abraham Rodriguez with a Lewiston, Maine address. The murder scene stretched for blocks up to 151st Street. Alpo had been given a new identity when he was released from a Colorado Supermax prison in 2015 after serving more than 20 years for 14 murders. But instead of lying low, he couldn't seem to stay away from New York.
He's been seen riding around Harlem most of the time. You know, he's been seen down in Harlem a lot.
In addition to the murder convictions, Alpo was widely believed to have turned on many of his former associates in order to shave years off what could have been a life sentence. There is no shortage of people who may have wanted payback.
Other than him being who he is, there seems to be a thing with guns going on that everyone's, it's getting out of hand with the guns. Everyone seems to have a gun right now.
Sources tell me that Alpo may have been shot while sitting in his car further down the block and then tried to drive away to escape. Investigators will be looking at forensic evidence as well as surveillance video to get a clearer picture of what really happened. In Harlem, I'm Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News.
So if you ever watched the movie Paid in Full, which had Cam played the role that made Alpo famous, but Alpo was one of the biggest, famousest New York rats. That's why I laugh at New York City people act like they are the kings of everything. Yeah, y'all the kings of the rats. Y'all the kings of the bullshit. Y'all got the biggest rats in the world and all that. No Pauls and no Diddy. To me, I'm just saying I'm a grown man. That shit is corny. I ain't never heard my grandfathers or my daddies saying no Pauls, no Diddy and Pauls. You know who gotta say that? Dudes who want to pause the gay shit. They want you to know. Now, I ain't on that gay shit right now. But later, when we alone, we can be on that. Pause. But anyways, you know, everybody praised this guy. No one knocked him for being a rat. And he got into something with a little dude. And they say, little dude knocked his top back. The man accused of murdering former Lewiston resident Alpo Martinez in New York in 2021 was acquitted Tuesday in New York City. Shakeem Parker, 30, who had been in jail for 2.5 years, charged with the murder of the legendary drug kingpin who spent 5 years in Lewiston and federal witness program. Right, it's like, you see how the article double talks the legendary drug kingpin who spent 5 years in federal witness program. If you spend 5 years in the federal witness program, you can't be legendary anything. Shortly after he gave up his secret identity and returned to the streets of Harlem, he was gunned down on Halloween. Police accused Parker of shooting the man once known as the mayor of Harlem because he was upset at the reckless manner that Martinez rode his motorcycle in the neighborhood. Details of the trial of Parker were not available, but the proceedings began with jury selection in early June and have ran off on the week since. According to court documents, he was acquitted Tuesday and released from jail. He was tried in the criminal court of the city of New York in Judge Daniel Cavassier's courtroom. Martinez was a notorious crack dealer who acknowledged his role in at least 14 murders in New York and Washington, D.C. During the crack heyday in 1980s, he faced a possible death penalty when he cut a deal with prosecutors to spend 20 years behind bars in return for providing evidence against another drug dealer in the nation's capitals. Neither Parker nor his public defender in New York could be reached late Tuesday. So, like I said, if you ain't know, you never heard of him, Alpo Martinez killer, a man who killed 14 people, all his friends who he stabbed in the back. Killer was just acquitted, not guilty. No charges could be brought. This dude could never be charged again for this murder. So, was it justice or was it dirt catching back up the dirt?
Police have arrested the man they say murdered former Harlem drug lord Albert Alpo Martinez. Cops arrested Shakeem Parker. He's 27 years old. He was already being held on Rikers Island in a gun case. Police say he also has priors for burglary, robbery, and drug possession. Mr. Martinez was gunned down in October of last year while in a car on Frederick Douglass Boulevard near West 152nd Street.
So y'all heard that. That's the dude's name, Shakeem Parker. We just read it. You know, he was found not guilty for killing of Alpo Martinez, acquitted in New York. You look at yesterday's date, 7/9/2024, acquitted. Shakeem Parker, acquitted in the murder of Alpo Martinez, one of New York's biggest rats. Was it justice or was it karma coming back home to roost?